All right, so last video we talked about why I opened a barbershop, or why I wanted to open a barbershop. This video I want to talk about what I learned in each of the barbershops that I've worked in before opening my own barbershop, plus what I've learned in my barbershop, right? So let's jump right into it. First two shops I worked in were in California. I went to barber school in Cali. So first two shops, the first shop I worked in was a commission barbershop. From that shop, I would say some of the biggest things I've learned was that I definitely didn't want to work in a commission barbershop ever again. And that shop is where I learned that people definitely gravitated to me based on my appearance, I guess. And not that I'm black, but more so because of like how I dressed. I didn't dress like everybody else. That's when I was wearing the big fedoras a lot. And I definitely came to work, I want to say, in a button up and a bow tie as well. And people would just, and I was at the very back of the shop. So it was more so like a linear shop. So barbers were almost exclusively on one side. And I was the very last barber in the lineup of barbers. So people would, be in the waiting area off to the side, or walk in and be like, I want to wait for that guy. So that definitely let me know, like, okay, differentiating myself from the rest of the shop is definitely important. And people see you and will know whether or not they want you to cut their hair. So obviously these are things I'm learning as a new barber. So that was a big deal to me. I learned that I definitely much appreciated. And I definitely learned the importance of having your license. So having the ability to work in any shop you wanted to, because you have the one thing you need to pretty much at least allow the shop owner to be confident in you working there without any stress of state board coming in and getting that fine, right? So, because I worked with two barbers who didn't have their license and were pretty much at the behest of the owners and doing whatever they say do, because they didn't really have anywhere else to go, because obviously a lot of shops didn't want to bring in barbers that didn't have licenses. So that's another big takeaway. And then, yeah, that shop definitely left a sour taste in my mouth about just commission shops in general. Not that all commission shop owners are bad or whatever. That shop turned me off entirely to commission barbershops. And then second shop, also in California, that was my boy, shout out in the last video. I'd say one of the biggest takeaways from his shop was the fact that he and I were, I guess, younger and fairly new family men, you know what I'm saying? So, and we understood like not trying to offend the people that we wanted to come into the shop. So we didn't really play like offensive music or music that would like turn people off to wanting to like get a service with us. So really we just stayed away from really playing music, period. We really just play like elevator music or just straight up just jazz instrumentals or anything crazy, because like censoring the music on any streaming platform, I don't know if like we thought about that yet, or I don't know what the situation was, but we pretty much just played like jazz instrumentals in the shop and just kept it super, super simple. My now, I think 10-year-old son was like in the shop with me pretty much like full time for a good little minute over there as well. So we had pretty much kids shows on the TV and everything like that. And this wasn't really like, I'd say intentional. I don't know what we would have really had on the the TV if my son wasn't in there, but I doubt it would have been anything crazy. But I say that because we got a lot of compliments from other shops about other from customers coming from other shops to tell us that they love that we didn't play like raunchy music. They love that we didn't have like the TV playing like booty shaking music. They would literally tell us that there were shops that had like bikini chicks like booty shaking on the TV like while their kids were in the barbershop, and that made a lot of people very uncomfortable, rightfully so. So finding that out definitely drove home the point for now in my shop. My Pandora playlist is completely censored. Every now and again, like a couple songs will slip through the crack, or however old the song is, it'll still have, you know, some explicit content or whatever. So, but obviously you just mind the audience or whoever's in the shop, and I'll either skip the song or I'll just let the song play through if nobody's in the shop is seemingly offended, right? So we'll just roll through with that. And then another thing I learned in that shop was, I mean, not every shop owner is going to behave the same, and not every shop owner is going to think like you. So again, this video is literally just to reiterate like how watching a lot of shop owners, mostly bad, has built me as a shop owner and just me as a barber in general, and like how I perceive it. So from him, I think I got seeing that a lot of people appreciated how we ran that shop, and telling us like, yo, this is a way better shop than any of the other shops we have in the city. So you guys should definitely be charging more, or like whatever. They would tell us all kinds of things and like give us all kinds of kudos. And that was obviously greatly appreciated. So for me, I remember at one point I asked him for us to increase our haircutting prices by, I want to say $1 or $2 is what I requested. And he was totally against it. And I didn't understand, I don't want to say fear, but I didn't understand the mindset or the thought process he had behind not wanting to raise the price, because to me, it didn't make any sense. And obviously, I can guarantee you today, his price is definitely higher than what it was at that point in time. So to me, it just didn't make sense how you could continuously be told you're the best barbershop in the city and not want to capitalize on that, and not even in a greedy manner, in like a very minimal manner, just benefit from it in some way. So yeah, I definitely learned to not be fearful of taking my place amongst the customers, and also trying to get to that place and keep that place. Like, I want to be the best barbershop in the city for a multitude of reasons. I want people to come into my shop, be comfortable, and be okay with the vibe of the shop and the environment of the shop and the music that's being played or the lack thereof. Or I don't even have TVs in my barbershop. I have never understood TVs in a barbershop at all. I don't, and I'm not a big TV person at all. I literally do not care to watch TV at all, not even a little bit. I don't have anything against people who do watch TV. I could care fucking less about watching TV entirely. I really don't fucking care. So I don't have TVs in my barbershop, and I don't like the potential of the client, while I'm cutting their hair, being drawn in by something on the TV and like turning their head away, or like there's too much opportunity for you to extend the process of the haircut for something so mundane. Because once his haircut is done, you're leaving the shop and you're not gonna finish whatever's on the TV. So it makes no sense at all. So Yeah, definitely never cared about a TV thing. So don't have to worry about having naked chicks on the TV while children are present, or people who don't want to see that are present. And I'd say third shop was when I got to Florida. That shop, very small shop, tried to cram too many barbers into a very small barbershop. Yeah, and that's where they gave away my station. So at that shop, I learned the value of not burning bridges, and I learned that I had definitely matured to a certain point, because if that same situation had happened, I'd say, let's say a year or so prior to that, it would have gotten very physical, for sure. So the fact that I handled that situation, and to my understanding and my knowledge, and I handled it the best I could to mitigate violence and to ensure that I didn't burn a bridge, because I just didn't know if I would need to come back. And I did, actually. I actually ended up going back to that shop at some point. So at that shop, I learned that, but I didn't learn that in the moment, learned it after. But obviously there was some hindsight there, because I took the time to have a level of grace in that situation, right? That previously I would not have had, by no means at all, for certain. So leaving that shop, and then fourth shop, that shop is where they sold the shop without telling any of the barbers whatsoever. Yeah, that shop was, there was a little hiatus in the middle where I took some time away from cutting hair and did the IT thing for a little bit, and then came back to it and only started cutting on the weekends. And then I was in that shop where they sold it. And yeah, I don't know what to take away from that. That was just weird. Like, why would you sell a shop without telling anybody? I mean, I guess communication, but who would not do that? I mean, clearly somebody did it, but I feel like that's an easy takeaway. I don't really know what the fuck to take from that. That was just an odd situation. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck to learn from that one. That was just stupid. Anyway, shop number 5, went back to shop number 3. Yeah, went back to shop number 3 where they gave away my station. I think I was there for maybe a week. Yeah, I think I was only there for like a week, because when they gave away my station, they gave it away to the guy, and then this dude had opened up another barbershop and put the guy that he gave away my station to in that new barbershop. So yeah, I was there for like a week, went back there, and then went to what's that? Wait, shop number 6, 5, 6? I don't know. Went to another shop, the other shop that he opened, one of the partial owners opened. Went to that shop because he showed me on the camera or whatever. I think I talked about it in my last video that the barber was in there by himself cutting. So I went over there, started cutting with him, and then still doing only weekends over there. And then went to that shop full time. I think after a couple months, 3-4 months or something like that, I think I started cutting full time again. And then in that shop, I think I was there for a year. And in in that shop, I learned a lot about barbers, because that was the largest group of barbers I worked with, and the most barbers I worked with, because there was a revolving door like crazy. In that year, I think I worked with 20 to 30 different barbers, easy. So I had the opportunity to learn a lot about how barbers perceived shop owners and the industry as a whole, right? So that is definitely where I learned the what to do's, what not to do's. I'd say the most, because of the multitude of different barbers that I got to work with, and seeing how they saw, even when like nice things were done, when really stupid things were done by the shop owner, just everything. I got to see barbers complain about the shop owner not doing ads for the barbershop. And I would have to explain to them, I'm like, you're complaining about the shop owner not posting on social media. You don't even have a barber specific social media account. Or if you have a barber social media, a specific social media, you still share personal shit on your business account. So it's not even really a business account. And then you don't even post frequently nor religiously. You don't even have a schedule to post. You post once every 2-3 months. So does he, if at all. And it would just, like, the double standards would just drive me crazy. So I'm like, y'all asking something of somebody that you're not willing to do yourself, when you benefit more doing it yourself. If he does it for you, there is almost no benefit. The only benefit is he keeps you in the shop. Why the fuck would he want you in the shop if you don't even want to work for yourself? If you leave and someone better and easy to deal with you comes into the shop, did he lose? Did the shop owner lose? I don't think so. I think that's a win. He might have lost, your booth rent for a week or two, a month or whatever. But in the end, if the headache is gone, that's a win, dog. Like, I think people give too much power to like the money of it, because they think like shop owners are like stressed about that kind of thing. But now, being a shop owner myself, like, I already thought that, like, before becoming a shop owner. I'm like, bro, I'd rather just not have you work in my shop than and you like getting on my fucking nerve, and just pay the bill myself, rather than have you here and be like, fuck, I don't really want to pay that shit. Like, I need the money. And it's like, nah, bro, the lack of headache is worth way much more than $250 a week, but I promise it is. So that's why I still have 3 empty stations in my shop. Like, bro, I'd rather be extremely picky about who I work with and them not give me fucking headache every day, or nag me about what they feel I don't do because they're struggling financially, and I'd rather just have an empty station, bro. Because you can't blame me or fault me for when you started cutting hair. Or you can't blame me or fault me when this is what you chose to do for a living. Like, the industry is the industry. And I think a lot of barbers struggle with like them coming into the industry. And I think a lot of them think that, cool, I got this license, I got this certification that I'm allowed to do these services now. There's a mass amount of people out there that are now gonna be released to me. Like, as if this is like that golden ticket to like some magical people that are stored somewhere that are now like free to come get haircuts. Like, no, bro, these people already been living lives long before you got your fucking license and have been getting haircuts long before you've gotten your license. And you now have to introduce yourself to them and hope that you're the type of person they want to provide them the service. It's literally that simple. And I think a lot of barbers struggle with like that simple fact. So I learned a lot of like little details like that, like being there in that shop for sure. And just like definitely being transparent with my barbers. And that definitely drove home the point of making it easier for new barbers to come into the shop. So that's why I do that rent reduction system for my existing barbers. That way they want barbers to come in. Keeping everybody the same. There's no special fucking treatment, you know, so I'm not gonna give anybody a new fucking weird rent discount because they're struggling. Like, no, bro, you gotta figure your life out, bro. Like, we're all adults. Everybody got problems, dog. You need a break, like you need some time to pay. Cool, I can give you some time. Like, I'm not hurting by any means. I can give you some time to catch up or do whatever you need to do to get your shit in order, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's okay, that's cool. But yeah, I definitely learned a lot in that shop. And then the shop after that, the shop right before opening my own shop, that's where I learned a lot of the administrative side of opening a barbershop, because that was supposed to be a partnership. He and I ended up having to take over a lot of the administrative shit, which made no sense because he had already opened several barbershops before that. So the fact that he was struggling opening this one just made no sense. But I took over a lot of the administrative stuff, which I guess may have been daunting, opening my own shop if I had never done it. So I got the opportunity to do it at that shop, which ultimately made it a lot easier for me to pivot into my own shop when that deal went sour. So yeah, that shop is just where I learned how to open my own shop, really, and how to be in my own shop, because I was in that shop by myself for like 8 months or something like that, for like quite some time, with like essentially everyone kind of thinking I was the owner, because I mean it was supposed to be part ownership, but didn't end up having it. So I somewhat treated it like my own, but still with like some being a little standoffish, because obviously there was still some gray area in there. So yeah, that shop, I think I was there for a year as well. So that shop definitely gave me the administrative side of getting here, which I definitely appreciate, obviously. And I would say that's probably it. That's where I fine-tuned exactly how I wanted to do this, for sure. That's when I had finally launched the actual product line, started selling products, setting up the display. Obviously fine-tune everything even more once I got here, once I got to my own shop. Getting here definitely solidified the fact that I definitely did want to open my own shop, and I needed to open my own shop because I was somewhat watering myself down being in anybody else's shop. Like being at the shop before mine, my product display was at the back of the shop in a corner, just so I didn't like take up too much of the shop or like do too much in the shop. So it's like, that don't really make sense, but I got to do it while I'm here. And then I would be so booked some days, and like my social media would end up bringing clients into the shop, and people would be looking for me like, oh, I heard this was a black owned barbershop, or is Savage the owner, and yada yada yada, and like that would just happen over and over and over and over, and I wouldn't even have space for those people. So they would end up going to another barber, but I wasn't the owner. So that money's never coming to me. So at least if I'm the owner, like, okay, I'm helping that barber pay booth rent. Cool. That money comes back to me in a sense, right? Well, it does. So at some point it does. So that feels good. But when you're essentially giving away money that will never come back to you, you're feeding barbers in a shop that's not yours. It feels a little crazy, right? That felt a little crazy to me. Not that I had anything against it. Like, damn, I don't want to get this motherfucker my money. Obviously, I'm booked. Like, I don't care that anybody else is making money. It felt weird that people are coming in looking for me and are like, okay, I can't get a cut with him. I'm just get cut with like one of his barbers. They're not my barbers because this is not my shop. So I'm like, oh shit, bro, it might be time. It might be fucking time to do it. So that deal going sour it was supposed to happen. So I was in no way mad about it. It was like the way shit lined up, like walking into this space when I first got here, seeing the color of the floor was already here, and seeing the position of all the outlets that were in here was like, this is fucking perfect. And it just like, I don't know that anybody else could have walked in here and saw what I saw. I don't know that that was even possible, because I saw the whole shop immediately. And I was like, oh shit, this is absolutely perfect, dude. And it was just meant to be. So I would definitely say if you're in a shop and learn what you can learn. You can learn something from anybody. You know, so whether it be what not to do or what to do, everybody knows that. If you don't like what's going on, what I tell anybody that doesn't like their situation, figure out how to make it your own fault, right? So for the barbers that are complaining about their lack of clientele, that's 100% your fault. And even if you feel it isn't, make it your fault. Train your brain to absorb the blame for your situation. That is the only way you will get past it. Because if it's your fault, it's your problem. And if it's your problem, it's your problem to solve. You have to solve that problem so you can benefit from the solution. And if you benefit from the solution, you fucking win. Why wouldn't you want to fucking win? Instead of sitting around complaining not gonna do shit for you. It's not gonna do a fucking thing. So do the work, learn what you can learn, grow where you need to grow, and do whatever the fuck you need to do to get where you trying to go. That's it. Peace.